Quiet, please.
Well, hello, good afternoon. Thanks for coming out. I'm AJ McCloud, along with fellow Alabamian Sara Evans.
Hello.
Now, how does it actually feel? I'm like yourself. I've been here 7 years now, and as Trace Atkins sings, "Out of freaking Bama," it's like sometimes I think, wow, I'm an Alabamian.
I know.
How's it? I mean, you're from Missouri. I'm from Kentucky. How's it feel to be an Alabamian?
It feels great. You know, I swear to you, this is no lie. I sort of always had this, like, self-prophecy. Is that how you say it? That I would live in Alabama someday. Because when I was a teenager, I had some friends who were from Ozark, Alabama, and I used to come down and visit them in the summer. And I just always thought that Alabama was so beautiful, and you know, the people are just amazing, so friendly, and now it is my home. I've been here 5 years.
Wow.
I can't believe that.
But did you ever imagine back then what would probably bring you here is marrying the quarterback of a football player who won a national championship?
When Jay and I first started talking on the phone and texting, I sent my brother, whose name is Jay also, he's my older brother, and I sent him a text and I said, do you know Jay Barker? And he texted back, Alabama quarterback, won the national championship in '92, and I was like, yeah. And I said, I'm sort of talking to him, and he wrote back, marry him. Like, I swear to you, that's true, before I even met him.
Awesome. Well, your actual first date took place here in Huntsville, right?
No.
Or no? Okay.
No.
Or one of them? Or
no.
a meeting?
No.
Have you
I've never been to Huntsville. Yes, well, we met. Our first date was in Nashville, and we played softball because I wanted to impress him and show him that I was an athlete as well. And so
how'd that go?
Great. I'm a great athlete. Did you not know that?
Yeah, no, I did. I
Okay.
did. I just want to know how it went.
It was great. It was awesome. Clearly, we're married.
Good, yeah.
But and then we used to meet in Huntsville sometimes for like dinner dates and stuff.
Okay.
Because, you know, halfway mark.
Right.
Is it halfway?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
About as halfway as you can get,
Mhm.
unless you want to meet up at the visitor center in Ardmore.
Well, we also stop a lot in Athens, I think.
Right.
Exit 351.
Yeah.
That's sad that I know that. But we get Starbucks all the time.
So good. So I've heard you mention the fact now that since you're married to Jay and you're living in the Birmingham area, that your life is kind of like the Brady Bunch.
Yes. Plus that little strange cousin Oliver. We have 7. They only had 6 till Oliver came. But it's fun though. He has 4 children and I have 3, and we have a total of 4 boys and 3 girls, aging from 14 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, you know, I mean, I'm just so normal like any other mom. I mean, I was just on the phone with my daughter, and I was like, she was, Mommy, can I go to Carlton's house? This is our youngest, and I said, no, baby, you have a softball game. She goes, oh, this is the worst day of my life. I swear. I'm like,
that's what I wanted to ask was what is a normal day for you? What keeps you busier? Family, career, or just
family? Definitely, yeah. In different ways, you know, but I always try to prioritize family, obviously. It, you know, comes first, and I have like a rule where I try to never be away from my children for more than 3 days at a time, and but our day is, I mean, just like anybody else. I get up at 6 a.m., I get the kids up, I cook breakfast. I'm a huge cook. I love to cook. And so I cook breakfast. My girls walk to school, and I drive my son to junior high. And then I usually go work out. I mean, in some ways, I'm like a real housewife of Birmingham.
Big league stuff.
Got that going on.
Sounds like a great idea for a show.
I know.
So what's your favorite breakfast to fix?
I usually do an over-easy egg every day. They like over-easy eggs with, well, have you heard of my eggle?
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of famous.
Yeah.
I make an eggle, and I created the name. But it's an over-easy egg on a bagel with a slice of cheese on top, and it's fabulous. No, it's a sunny side up egg, because you don't flip it. What are we talking about? I was poisoned last night. Not thinking straight. And then I cook fried chicken. I always do mashed potatoes. In fact, there's a roast in the crock pot right now that I made because I knew I was going to be away today. So,
wow.
Yeah, I I rock.
That's some pretty impressive planning.
Yeah.
So I guess the whole family is pretty good at this one, and this is something else you learned too to impress Jay, was your Roll Tide.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're totally Roll Tide. And in fact, our youngest, Audrey, she doesn't even remember our wedding, so she doesn't remember life before Jay, before Alabama, Roll Tide, and she literally thinks that Auburn fans are like evil, like like bad people. She really does.
Oh my.
And I know.
They are.
So anyway, life here in Alabama now. Last year, well, I've got thinking a while back ago. There's dates, things happen in life that most everybody remembers where they were when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
In Alabama, April 27th, 2011 is one of those.
Yes.
What about you, and how did that affect you guys?
Strangely enough, I was in Nashville that day, and we woke up to tornadoes, sirens, and just, you know, the craziness. And I called my record label and I said, I don't know if I should come up today, you know, because everything's so crazy and they're predicting, you know, horrible storms. And he's like, well, you need to come up, you know, and we've already got everything scheduled, all that. So I did, and then I was actually stuck in the Nashville airport till probably 10 that night, trying to get home.
Wow.
So, but, you know.
So how did it affect? Did you guys get hit by anything?
No.
Okay.
We live in an area called Mountain Brook, and we just had some storm damage, but nothing like, you know, Tuscaloosa and other places.
Okay. Of course, the follow last year, they had the first Rock the South.
Mm-hmm.
You have now got involved in a big way for this year, and it's going to be a
Yes.
2-day event. Tell us about it.
So excited. This is something that Jay's been wanting to do for a long time, is to do a country music festival. And so he has a good friend named Shane Quick, who owns a production company, and so they've sort of partnered up and decided that, you know, Coleman, Alabama is the, you know, very best, most ideal, centrally located place to do this festival. And they had a smaller version of it last year with Dirk Bentley and Kelly Pickler, but just, you know, had a wonderful turnout. So they've sort of, you know, just decided to grow it and you know, make it something that is a yearly thing. So it's going to be country music, Alabama football, barbecue.
So I guess the Auburn fans are still welcome to come.
I guess Auburn fans can come, but no, it's gonna be great. And I think there's gonna be like some football players there signing autographs, and I'm gonna be the host.
Yeah.
And I'm performing Friday night and closing out the show.
Good deal.
So I'm trying to talk my sisters into coming down from Missouri and doing like a little acoustic thing on Saturday, just the three of us, like a little
neat.
trio.
That's great.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be wonderful. And we have Hank Williams Jr. is closing the whole show on Saturday night.
Could you tell that Hank Jr. story you
I'm
told?
gonna make sure to, you know, let him know who I am.
Okay.
I opened a show for Hank Jr. and his tour manager invited me to come on his bus after my show. So we were talking for a while, and he's like, how's your mom? And I was like, oh, she's fine, thank you, Hank. And then he was like, how's your sister? And I was thinking, how does he even know I have a sister? And he's so sweet to ask me about my family. And then it got more and more confusing, and he got more confused, and then a few minutes later he goes, you're Ashley Judd, right? Yeah. I had just come off stage from opening for him. Yeah. Isn't that hilarious? So I wonder if he'll know me at Rock the South.
Text him, say,
He better.
yeah, Ashley be looking for you at Rock the South.
Yeah. I should invite Ashley Judd, too. Just to confuse him.
Yeah, they would throw him for a loop. So I'm curious, did you make any contacts, or did you leave that up to the promoters in scheduling the events and maybe who's coming?
I just gave some ideas of people, like the band Perry is going to be performing, and Scotty McCreery, but Jay and Shane and they've done most of it. I'm too busy. I'm not really business minded.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't enjoy that side of it. You know, I just like to be on stage and be performing or be in front of a camera, you know. But the whole like planning stuff, I have too much to plan with just getting the kids to softball practice and baseball and
That's
all that.
It keeps you busy. And
Very
then
busy.
try to squeeze in some songwriting and recording.
Songwriting, yeah. I write during the day when the kids are at school. So I have this writing room that I made. So it's attached to our house, but it's separate enough to where if the kids are there, you know, we can still concentrate and focus. But songwriters come down from Nashville and write with me. So we usually do a couple days.
So the kids are like, Mom, any songwriters coming by today?
Yeah, they're so used to it.
Oh.
They're so used to coming home from school, and if they see me out in the pool house, they'll come running out. And, you know, we usually sing them what we've written, but you know, they're so used to my career, and all three of my children learned to walk, talk, potty train, everything on a tour bus.
Wow.
So they're completely over it.
Well, that's the family second car, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
The thing that's been weird lately is my son is in 7th grade, and so where he goes to school, it's called junior high, so it's 7, 8, and 9, where some schools are like 6, 7, 8 or whatever. So it's terrifying because, you know, they go in as the baby 7th graders, and the 9th graders to them just seem so old and so scary. And so it's been a weird adjustment for Avery because some of the 9th grade boys, and even 8th grade boys, like, they'll talk about me, like in terms of, you know, saying I'm cute or whatever, and it mortifies him. Like, he literally, I was doing carpool the other day, and these boys, which I love it. I mean, I love being adored by 9th grade boys. But they were like on the bus or something, and
you do rock, don't you?
I do. And they were like, Sara Evans, because they always say your first and last name if you're famous, you know, Sara Evans. And it was like all these, but I mean, there were 9th grade boys. Avery slithered down. I mean, he couldn't even stand it. He was so humiliated.
Now, to some of the kids, though, that you know...
And at the Maroon 5 concert last night, sorry to interrupt you, but like I said, I rock, and I think I'm really cool, and last night I'm like dancing and rocking out to Maroon 5. My children were mortified. I mean, literally so embarrassed of me, like to the point where it hurt my feelings. So they just don't think I'm cool.
Oh, but you're mom, though.
I know, I know.
I know we all think you are. And
I probably
Sara
looked like an
Evans
idiot.
And their friends do, but you're still mom.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm embarrassing to them.
And so that I wonder to the neighbor kids and the carpool kids and stuff like that. I mean, you say some of them, Sara Evans, but otherwise, are you just their friend's mom?
Some, but there are still many, many, many children who, you know, like, will scream at me and, you know, excited to see me. So, and I try to point that out to my kids. They like me.
Yeah.
And then Audrey, like, one of her friends went home one day and she goes, Mommy, I know what Audrey's mom does. And her mom was like, what? And she goes, she drives a bus. And she didn't see the tour bus in front of our house. So I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, that is a bus driver. Among everything else.
But it's not even me, it's Jay, too, though. I mean, you know, the kids are obsessed with Jay. He's like Elvis in Birmingham. Because football's everything, you know? Football's everything.
Sure is. Awesome. Well, you mentioned the fact that now the first Rock of the South last year, Dirk Bentley, Kelly Pickler. She's, of course, on Dancing with the Stars. You had a chance to do that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, her and Winona both.
Yes.
So
Kelly Pickler
is doing great so far.
She's doing great, and her body rocks.
Yep.
It really does.
Like, you think so?
It kind of makes me mad.
Yeah. Well,
to be honest.
Yeah. That's what I told my wife. It just makes me mad.
It just makes me mad. It's just not fair.
Yeah.
She might win though, but Winona is with Tony Dovolani, who was my partner.
Right. So, what would you tell Winona, working with Tony? You've had experience.
Oh gosh, he's so mean.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Like he made me cry several times.
How so?
You know, he's just mean. Because they're very serious about it. And he's from, where is he from?
England?
No. No. It starts with an A.
I'll look it up.
Okay. Anyway, and it's considered to be like very masculine sport in these like Russia and, you know, those countries, and it's huge, the dancing part of it, and they take it very, very seriously. So, you know, and I'm not a serious person, and I would always like, you know, be stupid or like try to be funny with, and that did not go over.
Right.
But I was also going through a crazy time in my life. So the whole Dancing with the Stars experience was super fun, but I look back on that time as crazy. That was a crazy time.
He's Albanian.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's from Albany.
Well, I felt for Dorothy Hamill. She had to bail out 2 weeks into the show because of the health reasons. And how does that feeling, because you had to bow out during the show as well, what might she be feeling?
Well, I mean, she's not nearly as invested as I was. I mean, I was on, I think, for 6 weeks or so, and but I'm sure she feels very disappointed, and I feel bad for her with that injury, and I know she's in a lot of pain, and wish her the best. But it was hard for me to leave. It wasn't. I knew that the most important thing was, being with my children, and we were about to go into the group dance, so that would have meant me rehearsing, I think, like 12 hours a day with the group, and still having to learn my solo dance, and I was just, not going to see the kids at all, and it was a bad time for that.
How much dance have you done since then?
None. Well, except last night at Maroon 5.
We're on stage.
And I was so good, but my son just looks at me and he just, he just says, no, do not dance, do not sing, just don't move. Stand there.
Okay. Alabama won another championship this year, and boy, oh boy, did Catherine Webb get some attention.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you're a decade or two late? or would you want that attention?
Can I get some of that red wine?
How do you feel for her, all this attention? She was
I was
Miss
so
Alabama.
mad.
Oh.
And of course my son loves her.
Oh yeah.
No, that was pretty cool though.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they would have put the camera on me instead. There's Jay Barker's wife.
I know.
They didn't.
Yeah. Well, you need to get him a coaching job or something, and you will. You mentioned you've been songwriting and doing some recording. What are you working on right now? What's coming up for Sara Evans?
I have a new album that I'm working on. We've recorded 4 songs, and then we're going to go back in and finish it in May. And I've tried to write most of the songs for this record, so it's taking me a while because it's hard to fit everything in, and plus I'm still touring, and but it's coming together really nicely. I'm super excited about it. It's been, I guess, 3 years now since I put out Stronger, or 2 years at least. So I think it's going to be great. It's always really fun and exciting to put out new music because the band gets excited to start performing new songs, and but it's scary too because you never know how it's going to be received. But we have a couple of songs that I'm so excited about. One is a duet. I'm not going to tell you who it's with, but it's killer.
Oh yeah. Let's start guessing now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Justin Bieber.
Maybe you don't live in his neighborhood.
I heard about that.
Yeah. Wow.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah. Why?
I just think that he's 19 and he's got a lot to deal with, and I cannot imagine the pressure of, it's one thing to have 9th grade boys screaming at you from a school bus but to be followed everywhere you go by paparazzi, and I think it could just literally make someone crazy. Yeah. And I think he's a really good kid. I loved his movie documentary thing that he made, and I thought, I cried. I thought he was so sweet in the relationship with his mom and his grandparents. But I just feel like he has a lot of pressure on him.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure having you here. We're going to have some question and answers in just a moment. As we wrap up, of course, we'll see you at Rock the South.
Everybody come to Rock the South.
What would you say to a guy who's going to give up a working life for 40 years to go play golf?
Congratulations. Where?
Here I am.
Oh, hey.
Don't forget me.
Don't forget me either.
I won't. Always will rock, Sarah.
Are you a golfer now, or are you getting ready to
No,
start?
I am now. Yes.
You are. Are you good? I hate
I'm
golf.
not.
You're not?
I am not.
I've never played golf. I just hate it. I don't understand it. But good for you. That's great.
There would be one of our roadblocks right there.
Exactly. See, it's never going to work.
I know.
I would learn to play golf.
That's what we like about you.
Very submissive.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you in our Cellular Center Listener Lounge. We
Thank
still
you.
have some work to do. We hope to have you back maybe when it's finished, and
I would love to
you
come
can
back.
rock out. So anyway,
Thank you.
all right. Anyone have a question for Sarah? Not everybody at once.
You asked them all.
Yeah.
Are you gonna sing?
Yeah, that's my question. I don't have a guitar.
Oh.
We've got one.
Or a guitar player.
Even if you have.
Well, I got the guitar, but not the player.
Even if I had a guitar.
All right then. Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure having
Thank you
you here.
very much. It was
and,
fun.
thanks
And
for what-
congratulations.
Thank you.